Hello students, in my previous video I discussed about the stanza wise explanation of the poem. Now in this video I will discuss the central idea of the poem, A Photograph. The poet begins this poem by describing a photograph of her mother in her childhood. There is a nostalgic recollection of her mother's photograph that was taken when her mother was a 12-year-old child. The photograph was taken when the poet's mother was 12 years old. Just now I told this. And on a day when she had gone to the beach with her cousins. It was a favorite photograph of her mother's because many memories are associated with this, and her mother often used to reminiscence about the day when it was taken. It has been 12 years since the mother died, and since the poet cannot talk about her death, she chooses instead to celebrate her mother's life by looking at an old photograph of her glorious day or glory days. Now, since her mother died many years ago and almost 12 years passed by, now she can only recollect the loving memory of her mother, because now her mother is a dear departed soul. Now, let me come to the themes of the poem, A Photograph. First important theme, contrast between planned past and unknown future. In this poem, the photograph represents a planned past. The way in which the children were dressed up to go to the beach was planned by their parents, and that is the reason by looking at the costumes, the poet's mother laughed later. Their arrangement within the photograph itself, with the tallest and oldest girl in the middle and the two shorter and younger ones at the side, was also meticulously planned. That means the entire thing was planned because they had to be taken, a photograph has to be taken. It was already been what we call pre-planned. The way their smiles were captured by the uncle was also planned. As opposed to this, the family had no control over the children's future. As we read through the poem, we realize that the poet's mother must have been between the ages of 60 and 70 when she died. Considering the average life cycle of man, this is quite a young age at which to die. There was nothing the family could do to stop this death, because death is unanimous, it is universal phenomenon. Perhaps the poet's mother had been struck by some fatal disease, or perhaps she had died in an accident. Now we are not sure how she died. Perhaps she was struck by some fatal disease, or perhaps she had died in an accident, but it has not been explicitly discussed in the poem. In any case, there was no way that this grim future could have been predicted. Grim means something very dark, something we associated with bleak, dark. The contrast between the joyful past and the scary future is therefore a wide one, and provides for much of the sadness that the poet executes towards the end of the poem. Now this is a very sad poem. Obviously, it talks about some pleasant memories that already happened way back in the past, but ultimately this poem is a poem of sadness, because the poet's mother, she is no more, and her death had created an emotional voidness or vacuum in the life of the poet. Death leaves you speechless. The significance of that line, dear students, you remembered silent silences. So let's come to that. The poet has been helpless to stop her mother's death. She has simply had to accept it. She misses the sound of her mother's voice and her loving words as well. The silence that the death has caused in her mother is also echoed in the poem herself. She cannot talk about how her mother's death has affected her. The silence that death brings in your loved ones also leaves you silent. The same thing happens in the case of the poet's mother. Brevity of life. The poet's mother had been 12 years old when the picture was taken. It is written in the very first stanza only. In the first 4 lines, we get this information. She used to talk about that picture 20 or 30 years later, and whenever she used to look at that picture, she used to smile and laugh because that picture was a very special one, not only for the poet's mother but also for the poet herself. She used to talk about that picture 20 or 30 years later. That is, she used to look back to her childhood at the age of 32 or 42. What that means? What she had done 30 years earlier. That is, she used to look back to her childhood at the age of 32 or 42. Perhaps she was going through a midlife crisis. In any case, she had begun to realize that she had started aging, and that sooner or later she would have to die and leave the earth behind. She had realized that life is very short, ephemeral, temporary, transient. Many meanings can be cited, dear students, and that she should enjoy every moment as much as she had enjoyed such visits to the beach when she was a little girl. So it was a moment of temporary solace to her. That picture was a moment, or it was a situation that provides to the poet's mother a sort of temporary solace. This is a realization that the poet also has, because almost after 12 years after her mother died, when she looked at the portrait, and interestingly, in that picture also her mother was 12 years old, and the poet's mother actually died, that also 12 years passed by. So that 12 is very much significant. That 12 years is very much significant. It runs throughout, that irony regarding the 12 years, it runs throughout the entire poem. This is a realization that the poet also has. There is no way of knowing what your loved ones may suddenly leave your side. Hence, it is important to cherish every moment you have with them. This thought may also have been accompanied by the thought of her death. The poet would also have to die one day, since no man is immortal. We are all mortal. We all have to die one day. Before she died, she must live her life to the fullest and never let sorrow conquer her. But the poem ends with her speechless. And that very important line, silence silences, is very meaningful, because it is sorrow that had already provided a sort of gloom atmosphere or grim atmosphere throughout her life. But she decided to live her life to the fullest and never let sorrow conquer her. But it seems that sorrow has now the upper hand. Throughout the poem and even at the end also, we have been provided a faint hint that sorrow already had an upper hand. So there lies the theme and the central idea, dear students. Listen to this video and grasp the idea of the poem. Thank you so much.